Good morning. Well, it rained. I'm so glad we finished wheat harvest there on Saturday and got our double crops planted because it's crappy out. We had about a half-inch of rain, just under that, over the weekend here. Yes, started Saturday night till this morning. It's just been crappy, cloudy, misty, nasty days out, and it's going to last for a while, I guess. Most of the week, so I don't know. We'll see what's going on. I think Brock's coming today. As far as what we've got going on here, a lot of cleaning. We've got a lot of equipment to clean up and get put away. We've got to do the bean planter. We should clean up the air seeder a little bit. The combine needs blown off. We aren't going to do a thorough cleaning like we do in the winter, but we're at least going to blow it off. We've got to change some concaves out on that and get it ready for bean harvest, which is a ways off, but that's got to get done. We should blow off some of the chaff out of the tracks on the grain cart. That needs greased. Yeah, a lot of cleaning stuff up and putting it away. House guys are still down there working today, even though it is a crappy day. So hopefully that project keeps moving right along. And I don't know. We're going to see what else we got going on. I'm going to get my truck in the shop this week sometime to change the oil. So going to be a little bit slower week, but still got plenty to do. Okay, Brock is here, and we're going to dig out this bean planter and start here with the cleaning. So we got to pull the plates and get all the seed out of the hoppers and stuff, and then it needs a good, thorough power washing. Probably a 2-day project, and this is what it is. We'll let Brock work on it for a while. I'll help him out later. Priority number one. Well, kind of. Project number one. Finding much? Yep, the row units all got beans in them, but there wasn't much in the tanks, was there? Did you empty those?
I did, and there was not much.
Should have done this before we finished planting double crops, so we planted them out. Oh well. Is it cleaner than the last time you guys saw it? There's some beans on the ground. We having fun yet, Brock?
Blast.
A blast, he says. Dad's working on his wagon some more. So somebody in that video last week where I showed this made a comment about betting he would put a rack on it before we took it back down to Berkey. Well, I thought you were crazy. I didn't think there was any way there was going to be a rack on this, but turns out he's going to put a rack on it. Yep, got the board there. He's making pockets. Yep, that's what he's doing. So, I've gotten all the data off the combine, yield maps and stuff. This is that last field where we finished up. The field where we had that strip that was not sprayed with the head scab fungicide on it. And wanted to get a little more in depth in my analysis and seeing whether or not it made a difference. Now, the wheat in this field was excellent, 104.6 bushels. So there is a way that I can click up here in this corner and click this, and we can highlight out specific areas of this field. So I'm going to just kind of go around it and take out the end rows, and we'll just square it off right here. Oop. And we'll take sort of the heart of the field there and see what that area yielded in a second. 106.6 in the selected area versus the 104.6 in the total area. But if I come over here, I can layer an operation on there. So let's go back to this, and we want this tank mix, and this should show what got sprayed versus what didn't. We want just target rate so that it's either on or off, right? Yeah, kind of. Target rate not available would be the area that didn't get sprayed. So that's what's highlighted left here. And that area yielded 105.6. So now I need to know what the area outside of that, which is basically that area, 108.83. So in that situation, it was about 2.5 bushel per acre yield advantage to getting sprayed versus not getting sprayed. Now, if I put the whole rest of the field in there, that's fine. It's going to change those numbers, but it also introduces more field variation the farther away from our test strip we get, which is why I tried to just go with the stuff on both sides of it. So 2.5 bushel would pay for the chemical easily. So in that situation, it paid. Even if we look at it from the whole field situation, which this does not take out, the end rows and the crappy stuff, that's not the fungicide's fault, it's the tree's fault. That was no good, which is why I like to highlight specific areas of it. But even if you look at the full thing, the full field averaged 104.65. The selected area was 105.3. If I inverse those and make the unsprayed area the selected, 104.8. That doesn't make any sense to me, but anyway, it still was a bushel better across the whole field. So now here I jump to another field. This is the backfield where we were just looking. There's this little front one here, and Dad just made one round right along the road, one round. He even left it on as he turned around the corner left the boom on. So if I look at that, the selected area that got sprayed averaged 113. The non-sprayed area, as we reverse those, so that now the selected area averaged 101. So there it was 12 bushel difference. Now again, I think there's some variability because this area back here is really low ground and it was just not as good wheat. So if I was to highlight out this front piece here, we'd get a little bit fairer depiction. But even so, the selected area here, which is the highlighted, not including the strip that got sprayed, averaged 104.61. Our sprayed area is still going to be 113, so we're still 9 bushel advantage there. That paid big time, right? Hey, show up. 113. So that's a win. All right, well, it has cleared up slightly out here, meaning it's not misting and really crappy out anymore. So I've got a little cleaning up to do out back here. I need to get that box, those boxes, off of that seed tender and back down in my warehouse. And I want to take the four-wheeler and that little dump trailer we've got and probably go put some more signs up this afternoon. So I'm gonna go do that. Took the GPS and sprayer monitor rack off the front of the ATV here so that it's a little more user-friendly. Brock made sure we had air in our tires. He's getting tired of power washing, but I don't blame him. It's looking better. We might be about done with it. Came down and cleaned up some more boxes, so we're stacking those up. I'm gonna have one more truckload of returns and it will be like a half a truckload. Those 5 boxes are all I've got left for boxed beans. There's a few paper bags over there yet. I think the double crops are done. I know we're done. I don't know that anybody else is gonna come looking for any beans, so I think what we've got here is gonna end up getting dumped at the elevator. But I'm not gonna do it just yet. I'll wait till the end of the week or so, just to make sure nobody else wants any. I've got a trailer full of signs and I'm getting some put up. We've got some really nice looking beans and spots. So here's a spot where you can tell we're suffering from a little bit too much water, which I know a lot of the country is super dry and I shouldn't be complaining about this, and I'm really not. But that yellow spot and that big yellow spot, those are the low areas in the field that hold water, and they're just flat out been too wet. And a week of wet weather here is not going to help that, but if we could dry up, they would recover, and they're not going to be as good as the rest of the field, obviously, but they would be okay. Some of you may remember a couple of weeks ago when we were spraying manganese on some yellow beans because they were yellow, and I said it was a manganese deficiency, and you'd be thinking the same thing here, but it's actually not manganese. And if you look at the leaves, you can see the difference. Remember, on those we had what we called interveinal chlorosis, where the veins were still really dark green, but it was really yellow in between. And if you look here, the entire leaf is yellow. It's a nitrogen deficiency, and it's because this ground is so saturated that the root nodules that bacteria that forms the nodules can't really work, or they're drowning more or less, and so these beans are lacking nitrogen. And we also get some disease in. You can see we got a dead plant here, some Phytophthora maybe, I don't know. The lower leaves are dying off. These probably sat underwater for a couple of days. We've got some brown spot on the leaves. They're just not healthy. That actually looks like SDS right there. Interesting. It's super early for SDS, sudden death syndrome, to be showing up in beans, so that's not a good thing if it is. So this is those fields where we sprayed that manganese last week. I think Brock did it like Thursday or something. It's Monday. Yeah, you remember how yellow those beans were? They're not yellow anymore, except for the little spot he missed over there. But, you know, it works. That's why we spray it, because it turns the beans green. Okay, we're back at the farm here, and Brock's about done with this bean planter. I folded it up so he can get in around these mainframe wheels a little bit better. And some of this stuff, like back in there, and in down there, and, you know, that cylinder over there. That kind of stuff. We're about done. He's getting it. Brock's putting the power washer away, so he thinks he's done here. Guess it looks good. It's certainly cleaner than it was. And we will get it out this winter, you know, February, March time frame, and more thoroughly clean it and get everything ready. But, yep, good shape. So we're going to put this back in the barn where we found it this morning so that it's inside. Eventually we'll get the wagons out of the back of the shop and we'll put this in back there next to the corn planter, but for right now we're just gonna put it back in the big shed in the back. Well, time for the rain to blow through, I guess. It's raining. Not as hard as it was a few minutes ago, but we've gotten a 1/4 inch in the last 15 minutes here, so we're gonna get wetter. All right, it's time for me to go home. It's way past time for me to go home, but meeting of the minds in the office tonight. So we're discussing wheat varieties and what yielded well, what didn't, where we want to plant what this fall, how much, whether we want to get some new varieties, all that kind of stuff. It rained about 7/10 while we were in there, so well, we got plenty of moisture. It is plenty wet everywhere. I'm very thankful to be done combining wheat, because the wheat that's still in the field is gonna be, the quality is gonna go to crap, and it's gonna be tough to get it out. So anyway, thanks for watching today. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for watching. I said that already. Like and subscribe. That's what I was looking for. See you guys.